I knew it was Kevin Brad Kohler.
So there had to have been some all-star moments.
Your sarcasm is strong, Mike. I mean,
no, that's my favorite.
I've been living in Australia this long, and I've always said, like, sarcasm's an American sport.
I can tell you this. What's going to happen here is Brian doesn't like Kohler, and Mike likes Kohler for the same reason. So I'll let you guys tell the story.
Did I give my position away already?
Tell us your story, Brian.
Your hands.
Yeah, let's hear a story about Kohler.
Let's hear it.
Your experience.
So the first time I fought for Brad was all okay, right? We show up, we drive the 9 hours up, to the middle of nowhere, Minnesota, from Eastern Illinois University, and he's actually like after the weigh-in, we found him at like a local diner. Could have been at Denny's, right? So just something basic, and he bought our meal. $25. He covered me and my corner man, which was cool. Fought for him X amount of times, didn't make much money, but again, we didn't sell tickets up there, so it's okay. That said, my opponent always changed. So I always fought someone different when I got there. Right? First, it was, you're fighting this guy from Nebraska. And I'm like, well, that's okay, whatever. And then I get there and I'm fighting a local. You know what I mean? Of course I am. Yeah. Who else is going to sell tickets? Why would I be fighting a guy from Nebraska then? Why would you even put the fight on and give us $500 that doesn't need to be done when we net zero sales between us?
Yeah.
So I started catching on. No big deal. Just showed up ready all the time. I took one loss on a show. I fought Kerry Shaw, and I went for like a knee bar. Like I rolled upside down for a knee bar from guard just because I learned it like 2 weeks before, and tried it. And then he got onto my leg, and I'm like, yeah, I've already had surgery on that leg. I tapped. I wish I'd have fought different. Obviously, I think had I taken him down, it would have been a different story. But fun, right?
Was it? Yeah, Kerry Shaw's a heavyweight.
Yeah, I was at 190 pounds. He's made me fight heavyweight. Like I said, I
fought he was about
whoever he put in front of me.
Yeah, no, they were way big. He was way.
He was by 250.
He was 300 and some pounds. He was a monster.
I was gonna say, he was huge. Meat truck was his nickname.
Yep, but whatever. That was the time we were in.
It's 50 Fight Club. It is what it is.
When you were above 185 pounds, you knew what you were in for back then. Like you could fight anyone, and I was 6 foot, so it wasn't like I could be 5'4" and like, no, come on, man, like. So it was a bit of a go, but the one that got me is I brought up a guy that had fought Tim Sylvia, and we were both chatting about pay, this and that, and he's like, well, this one's going to be on the pay-per-view. We're going to put this one on the internet on pay-per-view. He goes, I'll give you guys blah 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 percentage of the pay-per-view. And of course, listen, we don't want to get no bigger. I go, listen, just take care of us. We don't care. Like that's fine. Right? Pay us after the show, whatever. Well, we get up there, and everyone else knew it wasn't going on pay-per-view. So I was like, Brad, like, he's like, oh, no, when the pay-per-view sells, I'll pay, it'll like be like 2 months, like let me have 2 months to sell the pay-per-view. I go, well, everyone's saying there is no pay-per-view. Oh, what do they know? Oh. I'm like, mate, just give us our $250 and we'll go home. Like usual, who cares? And he threw a big fit, you know what I mean? So phone calls and all the mess for a couple of weeks, and sure enough, there was never a pay-per-view, never a link, never a buy-in for my family to pitch in so I can get 1% of it. And so that put me off him, and he never called back. Like he knew he burned the bridge. But amongst all this, I heard the story of him faking his own heart attack to leave one of the shows so he didn't have to pay people, and I heard about 6 more stories along the same lines. And I just left it there.
So my favorite was like 2 years ago. He found some money guy. I don't know.
He's made a product. I ran into him in New Jersey for the autograph guy. And he was at this show like doing this boxing bag number product thing.
Yeah, like you got to go 153. All right, so he got this money guy, convinced him to do a pay-per-view, and these are his descriptions, not my own. These Asians and Germans love watching men beat up women. We're going to do an intergender match, and it's going to be in Russia. But the thing is, everybody involved had to check in on Facebook, pretending they were on a flight to Russia, and they would just drive to Michigan and do it in a warehouse. And everybody knew that the athletic commission got involved. They stopped it. Everybody that was like even entertained the idea of going out there and getting involved in this, like got big, like Shannon Rich, one of your buddies.
Shannon wouldn't go do something like that, would he?
Maybe he actually went to Russia, but his bodybuilding was in Michigan.
Add acting to his resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you fought Shannon 3 times.